Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Beth Traverso. How you doing, Beth?
Hey, Mike, doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Awesome. I am so excited. You have agreed to be a part of the original one rental at a time mastermind in Fresno, California on November 12th. It is already sold out. We sold out in under 3 days. And I think that's a lot because of the people that are coming like yourself. So thank you very much for saying yes. Thank you for taking a flight to come down and see us. I know the audience is going to love seeing you.
I wouldn't miss it. And thanks so much for including me. And I want to say, way to go with that pivot there. That's just an example of how to do things. Something goes wrong and you could just get mad about it or upset or whatever, but things happen sometimes beyond people's control and you just control what you can. Hey, we got this momentum going around an event. Let's just create something really cool out of it. And I'm really glad that you did that. So
Yeah,
yay.
it was fun to see because I reached out to 8 people, yourself being one of them, and I said, "Hey, would you come to Fresno on November 12th?" Because I'd already been talking about November 12th for a week, and everyone, all of you, said yes without a moment of hesitation.
That's
So
so cool.
that is so awesome. But now
Yeah.
I want to talk about your time on stage because we are going to do it very different. We're going to do it Zuber style, no PowerPoint.
I'm
When you're
relieved
talking,
about that, honestly.
yeah, it's going to be me and you sitting in a chair, and we're going to talk for 45 or 50 minutes. The key to this is going to be I'm going to come with 3 or 4 questions, which we will get to in a minute. But the key to this mastermind is the audience are going to get to ask Beth questions, right? So if you're a real estate agent, you want to know what it takes to be a 1% agent, she's going to be there. If you are somebody that's starting the game and you were working in the banquet arena and you want a house hack,
Yeah.
Beth's there. Seller financing, Beth. And real estate investor, Beth. All these amazing things. So it's going to be fun to see
Yeah.
questions. And folks, if you're watching this and you're not one of the 200 people in the room, put a question below. I will go through them and make sure the best question gets asked. But what do you think about that, Beth?
I love it. And I want to say, I'm going to be there asking questions to these other people too.
I
Like
hope
I'm going to
so.
get just as
Yeah.
much out of this mastermind as anybody. But just, getting all these great minds in the same place, I want to be there and learn. So I'm there to learn just as much as anything. And if I can teach, then I'll teach. I'm happy to contribute whatever I can. And I look forward to the questions. It'll be an interesting mix, because
Yeah.
I come from the real estate sales side, but then I know, you're, on the investor side, and it'll be interesting to see what people have to say. But
Yeah, I'm thinking because I think it'll be a pretty good mix of male, female, just based on the names that I've seen register so far. I'm hoping there's some young ladies in the room that are thinking about house hacking, and maybe for whatever reason they don't think they can do it. I hope somebody asks you about that, right? Because you bought in, you got a unit with a basement, as I recall,
yeah.
and you did it, and
Hmm.
was a great financial move. And you did it before you were making any dough, right? You did it off
Yeah,
your
life changing. And I was not a wealthy person and made it work, and it felt hard then too, is what I would want people to know. It's like it never feels easy because
never
it's
feels
not,
easy.
but oh my gosh, that one thing was just changed the entire trajectory of my entire life. So
Yeah.
was
So
it
I hope
worth the
somebody,
inconvenience?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I hope somebody asks you about that. I'd love it to be a young lady in the room because I think
Yeah.
there's again, as you put this out there, as you talk house hacking with Dion and Matt and all these folks, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm a guy. I do get a general, guys answers. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Rah rah rah.
Yeah.
I would love to see more and more young ladies give it a shot. So I love the fact that that's part of your journey.
Absolutely. If I can help anybody feel empowered or positive about being able to do something, I am all about it.
Awesome. Another thing I hope to talk about is there's a lot of folks, given our social media craze, that just think bigger is better, more team, more overhead, more this, more that. And you've shared a couple of times in our interviews that you made a choice, conscious to choice years ago, where you could have gone bigger and done this and that. And you're like, no, this is me. I feel good here. And you're a top 1% agent making that choice. So I think there's a lot of people that may want to hear your rationale around that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people feel like there's only one way to do it. And because they saw this thing or they saw that this is how it's done. And there are certain people that do like the mega team model and they're killing it, and bravo for them, but I would just want people to know that, hey, you can design. The beautiful thing about real estate, whether it's sales or investing, is you can design it any way you want. You can find something that clicks for you and that you can really get behind, and because you're gonna be working hard for it, and you got to be feeling like that it's aligned with what you want, who you want to be, and the life that you want to create. And there's all sorts of ways of doing it. And I remember what, gosh, I could, I won't get into it now, but there's a lot of stories of things where I thought I had to do things a certain way, and I felt like I don't think I can do this, because I'm just not that person, and it's not who I am, and I don't want to do anything that doesn't feel authentic to me, but you can do, yeah, there's any number of ways to create a hugely successful business, and I keep it small, and I like it that way. Scaling, there's risks involved, and it risks and costs, and it gets to be more complicated than maybe I want my life to be too. I don't know that I want to manage 30 people. It's hard enough just managing
No.
myself and my family and my team that I have. So yeah, what I say is, like, I would just want people to kind of stretch their mental picture of what they need to do or who they need to be successful. It might not be what you think.
Yeah. And again, I wanted the mega team, the bigger is better. Life changes at 4 units. If you get to 10, I mean, you don't need hundreds. You certainly don't need thousands. I hate this bigger is better mindset, as it could ruin people.
It can ruin people. And those that have been ruined usually went down that path more often than not.
Yeah.
We all know people who did.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Lean and mean. I coach with the Tom Ferry organization, and he calls it the SEAL team. And so I decided that was the model that works best for me. And I still work with my coach every week. I talk to him, and we talk about how to make it better. And it's not just about work. It's about how do you make your business fit your life, because for now it's not necessarily all about the money. Money's great, but it's about how do I make my life more of what I want it to be.
Yeah,
So
I love that. And then the last thing to talk about, again, I think the housing market's going to be in a depression the next couple of years, but transactions will get done. Great investments will be done. And you just got one of these cards, right, for a seller finance deal.
I've got it. Yep.
Yeah. So again, this is, being a realtor and being in the deal flow, you really do have an opportunity to really make some major moves. And I think seller financing is going to be an excellent way to go. So I hope somebody asks you about that.
I hope they do too, just so I can help them feel like it's less scary than you think, or, it's really not that hard. If you don't know the answer, there's people that do, that you can ask. So and I can be one of those people for starters, but then, yeah. So I would love to talk about that, because as you know, like, that's all I've purchased this year is seller financing. And I expect it's probably going to be that way for a while.
Me too. Yeah, me too. So folks, again, 200 of you will be in the room. 200 of you will have the opportunity to ask Beth questions. But since all of you can't make it, please put your questions below. I promise you I will go through the list and find the best questions to get that one asked. So Beth, thank you again so much for coming out.
Thanks. It's going to be, well, can I say one more thing in closing? Please. Zoom has been awesome for getting to know you and everybody, but I am really, really looking forward to seeing people in person. There is no substitute for the in-person one-on-one, meeting the group and meeting people in person is really rewarding. And I'm really looking forward to that side of it.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Beth, where can people find you?
People can find me at bethtraversogroup.com, or just Google my name and you'll find me all over the place.
Awesome. Thank you so much.